Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. My name is Jack Poulson, and I'm speaking on behalf of Trillium Asset Management and its client, the Episcopal City Mission, to hereby move shareholder proposal number 14, seeking a report on whistleblower policies and practices. The following comments are mine. Alphabet has been a leader in the modern definition of ethical behavior in the tech sector and the Department of Defense through its formulation of its AI principles. The heart of these principles are the commitments to not design or deploy technologies which either 1. Are likely to cause overall harm, 2. Are best classified as weapons, 3. Involve surveillance violating international norms, or 4. Whose purpose contravenes human rights. What these principles lack is a means of navigating the tensions that arise when their adherence would require risking major revenue streams. Indeed, the impetus for Google formulating its AI principles was a months-long debate which spilled out onto the pages of the New York Times as to whether Google was changing the ethical character of the company by developing full-motion video object tracking for drone warfare. And as the principles were being developed, Google was quietly rolling back its previous public stance that localizing its search engine to suppress human rights activism was crossing an ethical line. Most Google employees learned of this apparent violation of not only the AI principles, but a public opposition to censorship dating back to 2010 from a whistleblower. The CEO, Sundar Pichai, and the chairman of Alphabet, John Hennessy, would go on to publicly defend the concessions. These ethical violations were the cause of my own, eventually public, resignation in August 2018. It was only through months of public criticism, an open letter of opposition bravely signed by 740 Google engineers, and Google's own privacy team blocking usage of data from 265.com, that Google's CEO was willing to, at least temporarily, shelve the project. To this day, Alphabet has refused to state that censoring or surveilling human rights activists violates its principles, despite the contradictory verbiage of its AI principles. If Alphabet is to retain any of its ethical glow from its principled stand on human rights in 2010, it must enable, not suppress, future human rights whistleblowers. In addition to Alphabet's recent progress on abandoning forced arbitration, we ask that Alphabet follow suit of Europe's whistleblower directive by committing to not litigate possible NDA violations from public interest whistleblowers. And, given what appears to be retaliation against 4 employees concerned with human rights violations from Google Cloud contracts, we ask that the company formally commit to not firing or demoting employees engaged in protected concerted activity.